Welcome to Wiretapped Truths. And to start this episode, all I have to say is, because Leland just said that Home Alone 2 was better than Home Alone 1, and he spoke nothing but blasphemy. But with that being said, rest in peace to Catherine O'Hara, great actress that just passed away.
I mean, they're
And it's
both
not
great
close either.
movies.
I don't even know what the argument is. I don't even know what the discussion is. It's not close.
What makes you think it's better? I'm curious because I'm kind of leaning one way. Like,
The original.
I love the sequences of Home Alone 2. It just
Okay.
seems like one scene after the other is just a phenomenal. I don't know. I just like it better. I always
Okay.
have.
What do you think,
Originals are always hard to beat. I mean, it's the original idea. I mean, number one is like we lost him again in New York.
Yeah.
It's like,
They should have had their custody taken away after the second one. It's like that's insane. But you know what's funny about the movies? Like I rewatch them, of course, I do every Christmas. Is when they go to secure. It's crazy seeing airports before like the TSA, and they just run through the gates like nobody checks their ID. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead. The person at the terminal doesn't even like check their IDs. They're just like, go,
Oh yeah.
Um, I love Home Alone 1 because, well, a lot of the thing about it is you have the old man and everyone thinks he's like a monster serial killer. And then it turns out he's like a really nice, like a broken old man. And like when he saves him by like hitting Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern with the shovel at the end, and then like you see him, like his son comes back, it's like, that gets me emotional even as an adult. I'm like, that is sweet. uh the second one is really good, but it's funny how they just completely just made the first one again, like even
That's what I mean.
So,
They just
no, I
made the
agree.
first-
I agree. I just like it more. I like
They
the
just-
I like the lady, the scene he has with the lady,
the bird
older
lady.
lady, the
Yeah,
bird
and
lady.
instead of old man, you have old
Yeah,
lady.
I just
Like,
like it
it's like
more. I don't know.
they just
I
I just
like
like
Tim
it more.
Curry as the hotel owner, and there's like that scene when he smiles and it transitions to the Grinch.
Yep.
And he's like,
I just love it. I love Home Alone 2. I love it. And I mean, I know people hate Home Alone 3. I don't dislike Home Alone 3.
no, I don't dislike it either. I think I actually watched that as a kid, and I was like really confused because I was like, "Where's Macaulay Culkin?"
right.
And then I realized he's like 15, and he's too old for that. And
Yeah. And there's also a Home Alone 4 that was a TV release. I don't know if
oh
y'all
yeah,
ever saw it, but
Macaulay Culkin. There's this great web series. I'll do a little shout called "Best of the Worst" with these guys that I really like, and they had Macaulay Culkin on as a guest. And he reviewed Home Alone 4 and Home Alone 5. And he's like a really cool, like down to earth guy. It's nice to see like he turned out like he's even acting again. He's in the new season of Fallout.
yeah.
And he made like a really beautiful, emotional Instagram post to Catherine O'Hara. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was really sweet. You should definitely check it out afterwards. And Catherine O'Hara, just a fantastic actress. Best in Show, Schitt's Creek. One of my friends turned me on to that show, and she's great. So yeah, absolutely. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
So Jesse, what are we doing today, bro?
Wiretapped Truths presents The Wire Season 2, Episode 8, Duck and Cover. One of the best cold opens.
My personal favorite. When we get to my favorite cult, this is my personal favorite.
Yeah, this one's hysterical, man. I mean, hysterical, but very dangerous on what McNulty's doing here. So do not.
Really?
This is not responsible McNulty at all.
He's off the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry Wayne Jenkins S.
Jimmy McNulty's off the chain.
He's unhinged. That's great.
So yeah, I'll let Jack take us to the opening scene, but I do want to mention that I did reach out to the waitress on social media. Hopefully she gets back to me.
Yeah.
It'll be cool to see what she's up to. Shout out to Deanna Ogo, man. Probably the most consistent running up of views that we've gotten in a little bit. And actually Brooke Eden, but still, yeah, I mean, the guy's like an attractive face, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was a great interview.
It was.
That's true.
Yeah. So Jack, yeah, bring us to this opening scene.
Yeah, well, it from the last episode, it ends with Elena basically telling Jimmy that like no, that she's kind of cutting ties. Like she has the idea of like we can still be husband and wife, like divorced husband and wife, but there's no chance of us getting back together.
Mm-hmm.
And that set Jimmy off the edge because essentially this whole season he's been trying to win back favor of her.
Right.
Um,
And you know what, too, Jack? That should have been the ending scene because it ended with Marla and
yeah,
Daniels. They should have flipped it and
I
ended with
agree.
McNulty and Elena because they opened with him spazzing out about Elena. Like,
I agree. That would have been like,
they
yeah,
should
no, I
have flipped
definitely
those scenes. I don't know.
no, yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Like, and actually, since the very first episode, he's been trying to win back Elena,
Yep.
and you sympathize a lot with him. It's hard when you love someone and they go away, and it's not saying that she's wrong for having left him, of course, but
Right.
you do understand where he's coming from, and it's like he feels that at this point, the reason he wanted to be back with her, one of the reasons is because now he's on the boat. He feels like his job is inadequate. He's not getting to do what he loves. And so it's like if his passion is like being a detective and he's not being able to do that,
I can
I
be
at
a
least want to
passionate
be
husband
right. Exactly. I want to be at least a husband. And it's like if I
and a
can't do
father.
that, then who am I? And he reaches kind of like an existential crisis in this. Excuse me, and about like who he is, and there's like actually a very emotional scene later on with Bunk when he
Yep.
talks about that. But yeah, the first scene, it starts off and he's wasted, and for our younger viewers out there, this is what's known as a payphone, and he's typing on it, and the acting by Dominic West of a drunk guy is just great because he's like like he's barely holding it, he's stumbling, he's barely holding it together, he's slurring his words.
He went
Well,
up to the
didn't the
guy's
real
girlfriend and kind of like, kind of brushed on her kind of thing. Like, and Buddy was like, bro, he was like, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, he's he's trying. He keeps trying to make it seem like he's okay. It's like I feel like we've all been there when we're wasted, but we want to say like, no, I'm fine. I'm not drunk. And he's doing a bad job of pretending to be sober. He's a sober actor pretending to be drunk, pretending to not be drunk. It's
Right.
really
well, I think the real Dominic used to like to party, if I'm not mistaken. Well, from what I gathered from a couple of our interviews, right?
bad.
Brooks said that him, Bunk, and McNulty drank at every bar in Baltimore. Uh,
It's method
Miss
acting.
Debbie, yeah, Miss Debbie talked about how they came back from New Orleans, like still partying with bees around them and stuff. So,
That's a great excuse to be like, no, trust me, I'm getting into character. That's why I have shit face. That's not
Yeah, he was
Dominic.
smack. I mean, he was smack. This is
Oh
such
yeah.
a phenomenal open. Like,
Even when he hits the phone against he just like there's no he's barely functioning at all. He's calling his wife and he's like, call me back, and it's like at least midnight at this point,
for sure.
and his wife has kids there. He's not considered. He's a mess, and like you said, it's funny too because he sits, there's a lot of empty seats and he chooses to sit right next to these people, and he like he accidentally like bumps into her and he's like, I'm
Right.
fine. The guy's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And the bartender Gus, you could tell he's just a regular. He knows the guy by name. The bartender knows exactly what kind of drink he gets,
Yep.
and he the bartender wants to make sure he's okay, and I like that way he looks at him too. He's like he just like pour it now.
Yeah. And he says it's a cab picking me up. That's
Yeah.
throwback, pre Uber.
He's like, no, I'm fine. There's a cab picking me up. Cut to him driving. That's what's great is The Wire has that great visual humor of like,
Yep.
you know what I mean? It's very like a dry sense of humor that they utilize. And he's completely shit faced driving his car in the middle of the night, and he's not even worried about getting pulled over at this point, like
Nope.
because all cops, as we've seen from We Own This City, not only do they drink hammered, they drink while driving,
Yep.
so it's not even uh you know uh an issue for him, and he smashes into like this column that's holding up this overpass, and then he's like, well, fuck, I gotta make it seem like it was like a car accident, like somebody else hit me. That's what I gathered from this. I don't know what you guys.
I don't know what the hell he was doing trying to recreate.
I don't even think he was trying to recreate nothing. I think he was literally just trying to turn, and he could not make the turn.
Oh, okay.
That's how I always caught it up. I don't think it was because he's not under investigation or nothing. Like if he went to and his car was fucked up, when nobody say, "Hey, let me investigate what happened. What's your story?" It'd just be, "Hey, what happened to your car?"
I didn't take it as an investigation. I took it as him trying to see, like, hey, can I do this again?
Right. Take two.
Yeah, let me try it again.
The first time I smashed into this thing, and again too, just the production design. Who was the production designer we interviewed? Oh, Vince Peranio, of course. A great job of lighting this scene because it's all from the street lights, all of this artificial light, and it really creates that look. But again, as I've mentioned, you can clearly see Jimmy and you can clearly see the car. You understand exactly what's happening, and it really does feel like this lived-in environment.
For sure. And him getting out the car too and doing like trying to line up the little thing, that shit is so fucking funny. Like, it's really funny. Like it's a legendary open. Like it's him unhinged on so many different levels. Like it's a legendary open. Like,
oh, for sure. And it's funny because it's like it's at there since there's no other cars. It's at least 1 a.m. or something. It's dead in the a.m. And he smashes into. I'm pretty sure it's the same column again.
It is.
And his hands bloody as fuck. The airbag doesn't even go off. And then cut to him in a diner. He's the only person in the diner because it's dead in the morning.
And he's sleeping that bitch.
Like, yeah, he's passed out. One of those like old timey diners too. They have like you can see like they have like a jukebox there. That's one thing I love about it is all the it has like all this nostalgic vibe to it. Like even the bar, with the payphone. It's like it really does give you that feel of like the early 2000s with everything.
Yep. And
he's passed out, and the aforementioned waitress, as Jesse mentioned, comes over, and he's just like, "What happened to your hand?" And he's like, "It's a scrape." He said just a scratch, even though he's got a fucking tourniquet on his
whole hand bleeding.
So I've been to plenty of diners smacked, but I never been of like I don't know. I'm not a pretty boy, I guess, but I never have. This guy's like bleeding. He's like bleeding all over the place, and she's like, "Oh, you can have whatever you want."
Yeah,
like,
immediately.
That's part of the contract. That's part of Dominic West's contract. No, everybody has to choose up on him. They gotta be attracted to him.
I'm like, what's the attraction of a drunken mess with a bloody hand?
I mean, he is a very handsome man, but like at the same time, he's bleeding and he's passed out and fucking blackout drunk.
And he like,
he can't keep his eyes open. And how did he drive? I would like to know, how did he get from the diner to her house?
Maybe she drove. Oh no, because his car was all damaged in the morning.
Yeah, when he woke up, the car is there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When he woke up, the car's there.
Maybe she drove it. Yeah, that's true. She would have realized, like, hey, this guy got into a car. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe they called a cab or.
There's also like.
This
waitress is very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought it would be funny if we got to see him like these were drunk eyes that he was looking at her through, and it was like another.
Oh, and she was different in the morning.
Yeah.
Beer goggles. Right?
What was that movie? Shallow Hal. That's a funny ass movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow.
I don't know, but Jimmy just.
This scene, it just shows he's a fucking legend.
Oh yeah.
He's a legend. He's a ladies' man. But I'm just like, I'm watching now. I'm like, where's the where's the attraction of like a dude slurry, bloody hand?
Contract plot armor, bro. Contract
I guess also maybe it's like if you're a waitress at this point in the morning, you're like, well, I'm kind of bored. Oh, fuck, I got nothing better to do. Like
a half sleep, half dead, drunk, bloody individual. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know that?
maybe that's something we, me and Jesse will try next time. Let's go to the diners. Because on Long Island, diners are a big thing. And one thing, this has been like a debate in all the Wire shows. Are like, what is scrapple? And it's like, from what I looked at, it's pork scraps, like head, liver, and trimmings mixed with cornmeal, flour, and spices, formed into a loaf and then sliced and pan fried until crispy. What I'm trying to say is it looks fucking disgusting. I'm from Googling it. I'm like, this is a very Baltimore thing, but I'm like, okay. It looks like meatloaf, but like a really dry, like flavorless meat. And I like meatloaf, but this just looks like kind of gross. He orders that with eggs, and then yeah, it just catches to him. She's fucking him. The actress does a really good job of that. Not to sound creepy, I'm just saying she's a good act. You know what, we'll cut that part out. Anyway, she's a good actress, and she did a really good job here. And then yeah, it just shows him like in the morning, like, what did I do? It's a night of Jimmy, just like a night in the life of Jimmy McNulty.
He's not sure what happened. He looks at the bed, he sees the blood on the bed, and he's like, what the fuck? Is she alive? Let me look.
Yeah.
Let me look.
This was
she's all right.
This was a Mr. Perry casting, by the way.
Okay.
Who he casted the girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's a great actress. But yeah, so it's like it's a night in the life of Jimmy McNulty. It's really like the first time where we have an intro like that, where it's just like scenes. Most intros are like kind of one scene, but this is just like a sequence of events. And it has one of my favorite quotes, and I have my own theory about what that means, and I'm sure you guys do too. Of the quote of "How come they don't fly away?" By Ziggy, and this is a very Ziggy heavy episode, and you really do feel sorry for him for this one. At first it's like you have Horsehead and you have Mel, and they're both like riling him up, like trying to be like, yeah, fucking take on Maui.
I'm sorry. I love the name. I love
out.
the names. I love the names you say sometimes.
I think it's Nat. I think it's
Nat.
Horseface.
Who did I say?
You said Horsehead.
Wait.
Horseface.
Horseface and Nat.
I said Horsehead. It's like The Godfather. Holy shit! I'm not good with names. I'm sorry. That's my weakness. Is that I could do good analysis, but the names.
I was watching one of our recaps the other day. You're like Johnny and Omar. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Omar has a scene with Johnny.
I don't know why. It's just for some reason. I'm the same thing with actors too. I just always mix up their names and fucking this. Yeah, horse, not Horsehead, Horseface, Horseface, and Nat. Right. Okay. Thank you. And they're like, they're trying to like talk him into like, yeah, you got to fight Maui because in the previous episode, Maui pulled the prank on him. And this is kind of what I mentioned like last episode. Is it's like it's sad that like. If Ziggy kind of went over, because the reason now he did that is because Ziggy initially pulled the prank where he put a picture of his huge dick on his computer screen, right? So it's kind of like 1 for 1. Like it should have been like, all right, we're even. Like,
right? Because now we would have left it alone after the prank. Ziggy should have left it alone, but Horseface telling him, "I'd truck his ass if it were me."
Yeah.
No, the fuck you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You would not go try to fight that man, Horseface. Let's not even.
You're an old fat man. What are you gonna do about that?
Come on, bro. And Ziggy says, he's built kind of solid, and then it shows him, yeah, he is big as shit. Like he is not a small individual. He's tall as hell.
He's tall. He's definitely built. And it's sick because if Ziggy had just left it alone or been like, all right, we're even, whatever, it would have been like the end of it, but like he has to let his ego get to him, and he's like thinking about taking him on. Because, he's also not, like, the brightest guy, too. here, right? Um, but at the same time, there's the investigation going on here of now it's like we have all the main guys from season 1 back, that's
Yep.
like it's kind of it's sweet. They found out a whole like a way to get all the original people back. You got
Yep.
Daniels, Freeman, Greg's, Presbo, Herc Carver,
Kima.
Kima. Yeah, and now you also have BD Russell, a new
Yep.
person in the mix.
And
And
also, for anybody that's never seen season 2, episode 8 of The Wire, Ziggy does try to fight Maui, and
yeah,
Maui throws him up on one of the containers. Okay, he
yeah,
lifts him up on the forklift and throws him up on one of the containers. But I'm pretty sure everybody's seen episode 8, season 2 of The Wire.
oh
Okay?
yeah. I was just going in sequential order. And also you have what's her face, Rhonda Perlman coming back. It's kind of like a repeat, like we said. Like she was
Season 1.
like, like, hey, let's get all these guys back, but also like we're gonna do this wire. We're trying to get a wiretap on the dock workers on the Sabakas and like what's going on there. And they've done a lot of good intel so far, because what they found is this guy. They're listening into the phones that are finding that connects the warehouse where they're putting all like the drugs and the contraband that's being sold from the docks over there. They found that they're contacting people on the docks, and they found that from Herc and Carver, they've been eyeing Nikki Sabaka, who's been doing like street level deals and talking to White Mike. Shout out Brooke Eaton.
Yep.
It's funny too when they show like Herc and Carver, they mention them and they're so like proud of themselves. Like, yeah, we did it. Herc and Carver are very funny in this episode too.
They're very funny this season. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Herc. I love Herc in season 2. Like
Yeah.
I like his comedy.
This is one of the best episodes of the season, and they're also just like, they're like the comic relief too. You know what I mean? They're always like, especially like later on.
And also too, just 14 open homicides. Just that statement is crazy. This case has 14 open murders. That sounds insane. And also, when she says, I can't remember if it's Perlman or Daniels. I think it's Daniels that says this case is bigger than Frank Sabaka.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so that's a foreshadow moment to when Perlman and Valchek have their little showdown in a few episodes. And he's like, this is my fucking case, mine.
Well, because Valchek doesn't give a shit about drugs or anything else.
I don't care about nothing but Frank Sabaka.
Yeah, it's all of this tax dollars is going like I said, it's two, like Presbo said, quote, it's two Polacks pissing on each other's legs.
The Wire memes crack me up, man, on like Facebook and on Twitter. Like if somebody says like their top favorite characters and they don't mention Frank Sabaka, the Valchek meme of like, I don't see Sabaka anywhere. Where's Frank? Like,
whenever there's a list, there's always that comment of like, where's Frank Sabaka?
Yeah, but with the Valchek, like with the meme of, I don't see Frank Sabaka. Yeah. Where's Sabaka?
Like, I think when I asked one of the groups, what's your top 10 cold opens, or it was top something, and they didn't mention Sabaka. I saw that meme so many times. Like, I'm not seeing his name anywhere.
Yeah.
Wire fans are the best, man. I would like to do a Wire con with just Wire fans, man, and just like, connect with them
in Baltimore, But they found that Sergey's part of this too. Kima's been eyeing Sergey, and they connected his calls to that of the warehouse too. So it's like they're putting all the pieces together, kind of like what they did with the Barksdale. They're now like, we have all these players. Here's who's in charge. Here's who's contacting one another, right? And it's a real like cat and mouse game that they're playing here too. They're constantly watching them, and but they're trying to get what's it called, a wiretap, and to do that, Perlman says they need exhaustion. Now they explain later on what exhaustion means, but I'll just say it now. It's when they've used up all of their other methods to try to find what's happening,
Yep.
and they're not getting anywhere. So they're literally exhausted. So that's when wiretap becomes necessary. Because I guess
they explain that in season 1 too.
yeah, right. Because I guess getting a wiretap's like expensive, and there's all this bureaucratic like red tape there. And so they said, like, we're not able to get anywhere with informants, and we can't really get an eye inside the warehouse without blowing up our spot. All we can do is see them arriving at the warehouse.
Yeah.
And they say, and Perlman's like, all right, sounds good enough. Like, fucking start typing. And, because they're not able to also to find, like, they're not able to see that much drug deals. It's essentially like low level street deals with White Mike and Nikki, but they're trying to get like the big drugs and of course the women that are being trafficked from Europe. So yeah, they have to start typing, and then they keep coming back to fucking Ziggy's like looking at Maui. He's just really minding his own business, and he's just trying to get a.
And I'm like, a dude can't buy a frappuccino. Like,
Right.
I can't get a frap. It makes me soft because I want some coffee. Like, shit.
I got a hot chocolate right here. I got whipped cream on it too. I was like, what's wrong with that? And he's not really bothering Ziggy either.
He's not. And Johnny 50, shout out to Jeffrey Pratt Gordon. You know you're wrong for talking about Ziggy. Come on, now's the time. Come
right.
On,
you're supposed to be his friend, Johnny.
Exactly.
50.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck, Jeffrey? Why you being a dick to Ziggy? It's crazy, like, not to just like jack ourselves off here, but it's crazy how many interviews we've had with actors in this one episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they after like riling him up enough times, he goes up and he goes over to like start some shit with him.
And Horseface says he got some. What do you know? This pissant's got some grapes on him, and that's like banana too.
Yeah,
they're impressed that he's even about to do it.
Right? Most people are like, I'm not fighting this guy. It's like twice.
Hell no, he big. He said he at least 6'3".
Right.
He at least 6'3".
And he punches him, and it's like he doesn't even feel it.
Punches. He didn't even feel him. He hit him 3 times, and it was like, fuck.
Right.
And then he punched the shit out of Ziggy, and Ziggy was like,
one punch. And it's like, then they use the lift for him to take him up, and he like picks him up by his legs and chucks him on the containers. It's like I feel bad for Ziggy. Like I feel like you'd have to be the heartless asshole to. I mean, he did bring it upon himself.
He did. No,
but
he did.
It's also like the guys there kind of like bullying him. Then it's kind of like
he said bad advice.
Right?
You motherfuckers
gave me bad advice. It makes me wonder how long did he stay up for on that thing too?
Until Maui left, probably. And somebody got him down. Shit.
The whole place is like laughing at him, and yeah, they throw him on there. And that's kind of what's the genius about this season too, is like you're laughing at Ziggy until you feel sorry for him, and it makes you feel like because you do feel bad for the guy. He's really trying, and he's not a bad guy. He's one of those.
He's just a crash out. He just needed direction.
Right. He needed advice
later in this episode that I'm gonna speak on in terms of like just triggers for Ziggy.
Right, and he needed he needed people to look out for him, more than they did. And to be honest, his father kind of failed him in that regard.
For sure. He's one of them. He's one of those people that didn't really take after his son. Wasn't really. Yeah. I mean, I get Frank, you doing everything you can for everybody else, but at the end of the day, you're still a father. And you have to prioritize your kids in some capacity.
Right, and it is a guy that's like, he just wants to find his own direction, and nobody's giving him a chance, and it's kind of like tragic in that way. In the same way,
I'm gonna touch on that later.
Yeah, in the same way, D'Angelo. So, and also just rest in peace, James Ransone, because it's just amazing acting, and
for sure. Great acting from him this episode. He got some great moments in this episode for sure. They speak to his character.
But like the way that they're treating Ziggy, you don't really feel sorry for the dock workers, and you kind of start to hate them. and it's like you root for the cops. You're like, you know what, fuck these guys. They're all acting all high and mighty in the previous episodes, like, oh, we look out for each other, but that's all bullshit. You don't look out for each other at all. And
Yeah.
it's like kind of showing the hypocrisy of the union in itself. And that's when you start to really start to root for the cops to like take these people down here. And it does contrast them, like their shittiness, with like showing the actual camaraderie of the investigative unit that Daniels is leading, you know, because now we have William Bunk Moreland coming in. That's one of the funniest scenes when he comes in a sweatsuit, uh, and like Herc's like lacrosse. He's like, what, a brother came around with a stick.
And then he compares himself to one of the greatest athletes, running backs of all time, Jim Brown. Okay, like, you know, and Les is like, you putting yourself up against Jim Brown?
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, you know, I'm just saying, you know. And that little scene right there, like when he walks around, he walks behind, and then he like says, Carver, you can kiss my ass. You know, that shit's so fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's so funny. I don't know how anybody can think that Bunk is not the funniest person in this show. Like, I don't think it's close. Like, his comedic moments are hilarious. Like, it's hilarious. He's funny. He's funny as hell.
Well, even Daniels gets him on too. He's like, I thought you were born in stripes. He's like, if I'm going down to this downtown police fucking place, I'm gonna wear whatever the hell he damn well pleases. Yeah, I like how he just mumbles too. That's the old thing. When I watched that with my parents, I was thinking,
my ass.
Yeah, he's hilarious here. And Frank Sabaka too. This whole episode, basically the whole season, he's always stressed out. You know,
he is, and he's super stressed this episode because he's uncovering some keys here. Like, he's definitely stressed.
Yeah, he carries the whole weight of the union on his shoulders and the whole like future of the docks. He's got all this pressure cooking up, and he's also dealing with like these Greek gangsters at the same time. That, and now, you know, he's got a lot going on, and he's talking to a Horseface, and Horseface doesn't have a care in the world. He just,
I love what he asks him. He's like, "Can I ask you something important? You like fake tits?" That's why I'm undecided on fake tits. He's so serious. It's like, bro, I'm stressed out right now. Bro, I got so much on my shoulder, bro.
Well, now when you put it like that, yeah, he too. Also, he's looking at like a nudie magazine too. Yep. It's funny that, you know, it's definitely like, oh yeah, people used to look at nude magazines. You know, this is before the internet. Now everyone can just do what they do. But he's also realizes like, oh, he's looking for his bills, and he's like, yeah, you use them as bookmarks, and he just throws the new magazine at Horseface. He has to pay his phone bill, so he calls the people on there, and because he hasn't paid in like 90 days, normally they shut off your phone bill. They tell him it's been flagged. He says, well, why has it been flagged? And he's starting to get like suspicious. He's starting to put two and two together that maybe people are onto him, you know.
That's the first little sign of this is strange. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like back there, when you look at all that paperwork that they had to write, it's like this must take hours. That's one of the things about being a police officer and being a lawyer and working in law that people don't appreciate. You know, my dad is a lawyer, and one of the things is the amount of reading of like bullshit governmental paperwork. It takes hours, and it's tedious and just monumentally boring. And it's just like they have just a fucking stack of all this shit that they had to write, and now they have to read. And Perlman's like, you guys can't spell for shit.
And that little scene when Carver is turning the thing and Perlman stops him, I love that little scene right there. Like, man, stop moving while I'm trying to read this fucked up document that y'all wrote me. Shit.
They're like little kids, like having to just like, they're bored by this shit. And also, okay, you mentioned like actresses are attractive. Amy Ryan is just so pretty in this show. She's got that like girl next door quality, and you really see that later on when she's talking to McNulty. But they realize they have to get a judge to sign the affidavit, and they go to this guy Vanderwall's house, and it was an old kind of crotchety guy. And in order to do that, like they also have to like help
They
him
gotta
out
clean. They
move
gotta
his
clean his
shit.
house.
Yeah,
He's not
and
even reading. He's not even reading the document. Like he's
right.
like, yeah, go hurry up, clean the windows. You know, kind
Looks
of thing.
good to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, it falls on Herc and Carver to like move their air conditioning up. That's the other thing too, is that it shows the period of time, which is great about the show, is that when this show first starts, it's like the dead of winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now it's starting to get to springtime. You see the flowers are blooming, the characters are walking around in t-shirts. They even that guy that works with McNulty even mentions like, hey, the weather is starting to get warmer. It's showing like the passage of time in a really great way, and it's showing how the characters change throughout there. Again, it just makes you feel like it's this lived-in environment, right? And what's his face? Bodhi and Poot realize they're not doing well. Nobody's buying from them because they got shit drugs.
Yep. He said tumbleweeds be blowing through this motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
And you know what, too? Let me ask y'all this too. If they were gonna flag Frank Sabaka's phone, shouldn't the agency have like alerted the phone company or something and say, "Hey, don't let them know that we're flagging it"?
Flag it.
Like, what's the point then? Like, if y'all are just we gonna flag it, and then y'all are just gonna tell the person, what's the point then? I guess. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know this.
Well,
but
they
maybe,
didn't expect him to be late for a payment. Like he called
Yeah.
up because he was late for a payment,
right.
and this is how it was. Just like, what do you mean? I don't have to pay. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's true though. That's true though. But
That's a
even
good
still
point.
though, I mean, I like to think like, hey, if they ever inquire, don't tell them that it's flagged, or like, shouldn't that be? I don't know.
Well, maybe also. Well, I'm thinking because I
they
don't
missed
know.
it. I went over their head. I like they didn't.
Right.
Like I said, I don't think they expected him to miss it. He missed a payment and he called and he's like, "Wait, what do you mean I'm not disconnected?"
Right.
They probably weren't expecting that.
Right.
My bad, Jack. What were you gonna
No,
say?
I was also going to say that's a really good point. I was also going to say, because I don't know that much about how that works, right? Maybe the phone company wasn't alerted by the police. Maybe they're
Maybe
just
not.
letting
Yeah,
know.
maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe they're just letting know, oh, things been flagged, but it's not necessarily the police that's been telling them that.
Maybe
I,
not. Right. That's
I
true.
don't really know. That's a good question. Um, we have like a law correspondent. That could be one of the questions we ask him.
Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, when they go through the pit and he's like, tumbleweeds be blowing through this motherfucker, bro. Like,
yeah.
and then they walk up on Buddy and it's like, Puddin', what's going on? I never knew Buddy's name was Puddin'. That's the only time I think he names him, but I never knew his name.
Okay.
He didn't have a lot of scenes or a lot of lines, but I just never knew his name was Puddin'.
How do you think you got that name?
I don't know. I don't
He
even
eats a lot of pudding, or
Yeah.
everyone's got a nickname. It's fun. Yeah, so they're not getting anything, and also that one scene, a cop stops by them and is like, "Move along," even though they're just standing there.
Yep.
This weak ass police.
Yep. And shout out to Troy Chaney too, who interviewed, phenomenal interview. He said, "I love that line." He said, "Where you get that police outfit from? Kmart." I love that. I love that little line.
Maybe hopefully, and we get him next time. One thing I appreciate about Poot's acting is he does this thing with his hands when he's walking too. I don't know if you guys noticed that too. It's like he like hits them on top of each other. It's like
A little thing like this.
yeah. Like it's always like he's got that own little thing going on there. I wonder what that's about. But yeah, they realize they're not getting anything. So the drug buyers are going to another house, and we also see, and it's one of the many scenes where we see Bunk and McNulty out by the train tracks, and McNulty's car is still completely damaged.
Crashed out.
He didn't, he still got the bandage on his hand. And Bunk's like, even for a legendary motherfucker like you. That's one of the best aspects of the show is the friendship between
Bunk
McNulty
and
and Bunk.
yeah, no, for sure.
So he's like, it's part of the beating heart of the story, like
Yep.
throughout their, it's like, it feels very real. Like we all have that friend that we go to at like the end of the night to just like hang out and talk
Yep.
to. It's like to decompress, right? And another thing too, this is one thing I caught here. Bunk goes on top of the railroad and is like, come and get me to the train kind of mirroring the first episode when McNulty goes on the train tracks and pisses there. Thought that was an interesting thing. And McNulty asks about like the wiretap, and you can clear. He says they got every swinging dick with a shield on that detail, but me.
He's so sad.
Yeah,
you can see it right here, and he's like, "Who am I, Captain Chesapeake?" Like, I love that line too.
Yeah,
and if it's like, if nothing else, Jack, McNulty at his core, his thing is to be the best cop he can be. Like, you know,
right.
Even before being a great father, is being a great cop. Like, that is that is what he lives for, kind of thing. So he's completely right. He's like, damn, I don't have Elena, I don't have shit going. Damn, I can't even be a cop. Like, I can't even do what I love to do, kind of thing. Like, fuck. You know? Like, it's
who am
definitely
I?
a telling moment for sure.
Yeah, he feels like, who am I then if I can't do what I love? And you really feel for him too. The acting's phenomenal. He's like on the verge of tears because it's like it's a crisis moment of like, you know, it's his identity, and you know, there's a lot of people like that where it's like they feel so much passion, and it's like if they're not able to do that, they start to question like what their purpose is.
And he's passing between different emotions too. Like when Blanc is like, you know, even for a legendary motherfucker like yourself, he's like, drop it. Like, he's angry.
Right.
And then it goes from anger to damn sympathy. And then it goes from sympathy to just pure sadness. Like, he's like, you know, like, shit, I can't be a cop. Man, shit. Like, you know, he's definitely a range of emotions in that one little scene. It's a great scene. It's a phenomenal scene.
There's so much vulnerability too.
Yeah, it's a great scene. It's a great scene.
Yeah, there, like you said, there he becomes resentful, but then he's sad, and he's almost sort of hopeful too. When Bunk mentions, "I just bring it up to Rawls."
Yep.
And then McNulty's like, "Yeah, why wouldn't you know?" Yeah, man, it just shows the Emmys are bullshit because Dominic West deserved an Emmy for this scene too. And Bunk is showing he's like a real friend too. He really genuinely feels for him, and he's trying to make him feel better. And throughout this episode, you show like that Bunk and Freeman and Daniels actually care for him. They don't just consider him a coworker; they consider him a friend that they care about. You know. We also, this is the first time we see Frank with his brother here, and his brother is Nick's father.
Yep.
And his Frank's all proud and like talking about all these deals that he's got going on, and also he says like there's a chair, like a advisor position on the new port that they're building up, and he says like, why don't you why nominated you for it? And he's like thinking like, oh, his brother's gonna be like really happy about it, you know. But his brother doesn't want anything to do with it.
No.
And
he's such an honorable man too. Like,
right.
Nikki's dad is so honorable.
But it's also the thing of like Frank's like, well, what are you doing with you're not doing anything. You're just kind of living. To him, he's like, he feels like you're living like this very simple life. Like, don't you want to do stuff? Like, don't you care about what's going on? And but like you said, yeah, he's very just straight to the point. He doesn't want to get mixed up in any illegal shit that's going on. And
he tells it to Frank too. He says, you know, everything I got, it comes straight. Right. And that's such a humbling moment for Frank. Like, he's humbling his little brother. Like,
right.
You know.
But Frank also feels like, oh, you're being all high and mighty, but at the same time that you got this huge payout because your union, the shipbuilders union, went up, so now you got paid out. Like, you were just lucky on that regard. And so yeah, Frank's like, really, you kind of see both sides of this. And what's it called? You know, so there's like definitely a conflict between Frank and his brother, and what was it? Yeah,
Lou.
so
His
help me out
brother's
here, Jesse.
His brother's name is Lou, right?
Lou, right? Lou Sabaka, right? And in essence, though, his brother Lou is right because Frank shouldn't have gotten involved with these gangsters because, you know, but hindsight is 2020. and Frank is still stressed out, right? But
Oh,
Ziggy
Frank
also,
always wants to. It feels like Frank always wants to impress his brother too,
right?
and his brother's kind of like, um, I like his brother because he's comfortable.
Mm,
He's comfortable in his own skin. He makes what he makes. He has his home. He has his kid. Um, he doesn't need no extra money. He doesn't wanna do anything that's not earned. And
right.
Probably the most moral character of the Wire. There's not too much wrong with Lou. Um,
Yeah,
he seemed like a good father, a good husband, a working man. And even like when he goes to the bar and he bets on the horse, he doesn't bet on the horses.
hmm
What he does, what if I did bet as a
right.
hobby?
Well, it
He's a
also
good
shows the contrast when he
yeah.
goes to this bar. He's in like this quiet environment where he's just able to hang out with the bartender, whereas like as opposed to all the dock workers when it's like this loud, noisy place, right? And everyone's like going crazy, and they're always like up to shenanigans there. And yeah, you're right. Like Frank wants to make him proud, he sees him as that figure. We all want to make our siblings proud of us or our parents too, and he's not giving him that assurance of, it's sad too because you wish that Lou would just be like, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. That's all Frank wants is somebody to recognize what he's doing. And it's also in the same way that's all Ziggy wants. He wants reassurance in that same way, somebody to be like, hey, I'm proud of you. How's Olivia doing? She's okay. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine.
That's good. She's a cutie. All right, so now we have Ziggy, and he's recently been humiliated, and so he wants to like make it up. He wants to buy a pigeon at first, and he goes to this guy who like used to race pigeons with his grandfather. You can tell the Sabakas are like legends around town. Everyone knows them. They've been around for generations, and he says, "Why don't they just fly away?" And he says their wings are clipped.
Okay, I want to take a second here because I want everybody to say what it means to them.
Yeah, of course.
Why don't they fly away? So, you know what? I'm not sure what it means, but I love it. It's like so.
Okay.
Just seeing it written down just seems so poetic.
hmm
When we did the James Ransone tribute and we called the episode that "Why Don't They
Yeah.
Fly Away." So,
Well, that was
all right,
also the title of that article that I thought was beautifully written by that friend of hers.
yeah,
Um, and that was really sweet too. But sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
no, but and before the passing of James Ransone, I always liked the quote, and I don't know why. And I guess the only thing I could say is that it sounds so poetic.
Right.
It
Why
is.
don't they fly away? And I don't really have an explanation of what it means to me, but I love it, and I
Mhm.
don't. What do you guys think?
I mean, the deeper meaning of it, I don't know. I can't really decode the deeper meaning of it. I just took it as he clipped it. He didn't know that the wings were clipped. And it's like, okay, well, why don't they fly away? Well, the wings are clipped. They can't fly.
So what I took out of it is why don't they fly away? Why don't these people leave Baltimore? Why don't Ziggy go out and leave the why don't you go somewhere else and live this life? Why don't the people in the pit like Bodie or D'Angelo leave this game that they're a part of and start a new life? Well, they can't because their wings are clipped because they have things that are preventing them from leaving. They don't have the mechanisms to start a life that a lot of people have this privilege of doing. They don't have the ability to because they have all these people that are pressuring them to stay there. And it's so even though these ducks can't fly away, they still try to make the best life of themselves. And so I feel like Ziggy feels that camaraderie with the duck because in the same way that the duck can't leave, he can't leave either. But he at least wants
Yeah.
this companionship.
No,
That's
that's
kind of what
beautiful.
I took away
That's
from it.
beautiful. That's a
I
beautiful,
think you got it.
breakdown. Yeah, I
Uh,
think that's spot on too.
uh,
Like
Oh,
that's
let's
a great metaphor.
if somebody can make a mental note because there's a couple of questions I already sent Joy Ketchkin because she asked me, do I have any idea of what we want to talk about in the interview, and I kind of just sent her like some theories that I had. Um,
mhm.
we can ask Joy Ketchkin when she comes
I'm
on
taking the note down now.
this quote, you know. So I like that, Jack. Though
No, thank you.
I think you are correct.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, again, it really just it shows the compassion and like the humanity that James Ransone brought to this role. And
Rest in peace, James Ransone too.
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And we had
always.
our tribute, and again, that was a great article written by his friend there, and even that close up shot where he brings the duck to his face, and
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm probably gonna make that the thumbnail for this episode.
yeah,
Probably it might be McNulty's open. Maybe that's probably a better looking one because I've used the one with the duck already for the tribute, but I might still use it for this one. I'm not sure.
it's a moment of like sweetness and intimacy in
It
an
is.
episode with so many shitheads. Like you have all the gangsters and everything. It's a nice like moment of like, oh, there's such a calming presence there. It's like when you're with a pet that you love.
He feels
Um,
a connection with the duck for sure.
right? Yeah, and he just wants somebody that he can love, because like we said, he's not really getting that from his father. The closest person, the person that really cares about him more than anyone is his cousin,
It's Nick.
is
And
Nicky.
we're gonna speak on that too in the next couple of minutes, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's definitely a great scene. And then like it shows that, but then the episode is great because it shows, like I said, the friendship that Bunk and Daniels and Freeman have towards McNulty. Bunk and Daniels go to Bunk and Freeman go to Daniels, and they're like, "Look, you gotta. Jimmy's hurting out there. We need to. He's a great police. He even has that.
Bunk's breakdown about Jimmy
Yeah,
McNulty is beautiful dialogue. He's like, when Jimmy McNulty isn't policing, he's pretty much the poster boy for a drunken fuck up or something like that. He said when he is policing, pretty much the same motherfucker. Like I love that little part right there, man.
It's like they care about, they're still busting his balls, but they still love him, and Daniels realizes he's right. We need to bring this guy in. He's a valuable asset. He's a great
A
police,
hell of a detective,
like incredible detective. Who's genuinely passionate about this.
Yep. I'm gonna
And
touch on that too later when they bring him back. I got a good little speaking on passion about it, about McNulty.
I think some people don't realize too. Like I think when season 2 comes around, it takes a while for the case to really go in. It takes like 7 or 8 episodes. Like it's 8th episode, and we're still we're now just getting McNulty approved.
They're still trying to get like the wire and stuff. Jesse, not to cut you off, Jack, but they're still trying to get like the wire and stuff situated. Like it's not. They're not really ready yet. Like
right,
they're piecing it together, but.
Jack, while you're right on it's more realistic, I just brings up my point of like I feel like season 1 up to episode 6 was like one big extension. Like season 2 was like an extension of season 1 and 2. Like we had all these loose ends to still cover before we let the case go in. So I mean the case is done pretty rapidly. It's done in 4 episodes.
Right. Well, this is a classic season 2 thing, and I like I said, I like that because it takes a while. Like a worse show would have like made some like hackneyed thing for like the first episode. They would have all been back, But this is like actually would take a while. But this also has like a classic season 2 thing, right? Because like you said, it does tie up the loose ends, and every great season 2 does that, where it's like it's a continuation of the season 1, but we also introduce new characters that are in its own new storyline. Like every single season 2 of any show introduces new characters. That's just how it is. Like you can't find one that doesn't do that.
And I just found out Chris Bauer wore a fat suit.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
I know that.
completely. Like it doesn't look obvious. It doesn't look like Eddie Murphy and the Nutty Professor.
Like, and Jack, I don't think you've seen his and hers yet with John Bernthal.
I haven't seen that one, yeah.
But he's in that. Chris Bauer's in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. He's the husband of the first murdered victim.
Wow.
Okay.
When John Bernthal goes to the house, he's the rich guy.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. He don't even look like it. You wouldn't even, and somebody like Jesse that does research and is a movie critic, he don't even look the same. You didn't even know that was him, but that's him.
Right.
You didn't even know he had a fat suit on, bro. Like I never knew that.
It looks realistic. It doesn't, yeah, like I said, it's not like the Nutty Professor or anything. It looks totally normal. And
the fact that they thought to put him in a fat suit just to, I guess I almost say elevate his character, but just to make his character more like that in itself is genius to me. Like, why they feel like he needed to be fat? Like, you know,
make
like
him look older.
Yeah,
because he was young. Because the actor was very young.
Yeah, I like it. I love it though.
He's a fantastic actor. I know he was like a main actor on that show True Blood. The only other thing I've seen him on was an episode of The Office. And like I said before, The Office has a lot of Wire connections. Not
it does.
Amy Ryan as Holly, of course. Idris Elba as Charles. David Costa Bile, the guy who plays in season 5, who's one of those Klebanow, one of the newspaper people, Klebanow. He also played Gale in Breaking Bad. Like he's in The Office.
Yeah. I love him as an actor because he knows how to make himself such a hated character.
Yeah,
like he really does. I don't know if you've ever seen Billions, Jack. That's a good show too.
No, I haven't seen that one.
He's in that one too, and he is. Whoo, he don't take no bullshit. Like
I gotta watch.
He's a great actor. He's a phenomenal actor. I love him and stuff. He's a great actor.
Oh yeah, in The Wire, his character is such a sniveling piece of shit.
Oh my gosh, to be a most hated character in The Wire, I think you have to be a great actor.
Oh yeah, and he's hated amongst like murderers and psychopaths. So it's like, but it's like this guy's just an obnoxious boss.
He is so obnoxious.
That well. Yeah, man.
I think season 5 is gonna be so fun to break down.
Oh, definitely.
That's gonna be dope.
I heard Billions is great. You know, Paul Giamatti and one of my favorite comedians, Dan Soder, is in that one.
Yep, it's a good show. I never finished it, but I got to like season 4, I think season 5, maybe. It's a good show.
Okay, I'll definitely check that one out. Yep. Damian Lewis from Homeland's in that. So. Also, one of the funniest scenes in this episode is how Herc's cousin, who reminds me a lot of the actor Will Poulter here, his little cousin's like his ball busting guy.
Wait a minute, he said our moms are sisters. That's his nephew. No,
it's his cousin.
That's his cousin. Okay.
Yeah, his little cousin. You know, Herc's about like his late 20s, so imagine this guy's like his early 20s. Because they're faking having an informant. They don't have an informant. That's funny. These guys constantly take the easy way out of everything. You know, they used a tennis ball to hide a mic that got destroyed by a truck. So now they need to come up with some other way so that they don't get busted for that. So they fake an informant, and the name they come up with is Fuzzy Dunlop.
Which is the stupidest name I ever heard.
Like, it's the fucking... Isn't Dunlop also the name of... Dunlop is the name of the tennis balls, right? So it's the idea is fuzzy tennis ball. That's the it's so fucking stupid. Yeah, Dunlop tennis balls. That's hilarious. And they just get this cousin to do that, and the way they talk to it, they just have that relationship, and like his cousin's like, well, why do I have to I'm not getting paid, you're getting paid.
Yeah, he's like, you get a salary for that. He was talking shit to them. That scene is funny. Like, you get a salary for that shit.
He even asked him, he was like 10%, and like
so $15.
Yeah,
you know, that's what that 10% is. You know,
Harvard's like, great, I got to deal with the whole fucking family. Yeah, he just takes the camera, just flashes it in his face. And then the next scene, and you guys have talked about this a lot, where Nikki comes over to Ziggy, and Nick's got a new car, and he's giving Ziggy all this money, and he's even talking. He's like, "I heard you took on Maui."
What did he say, Jack?
What?
What did Ziggy say when he said that?
Wait, hold on, wait. Oh, he said, "Boy needed to get to school." Well, yeah. Great. And it's like, you know, I like that though. I like how he feels like, fuck it, I don't care. You know what? At least he stood up to him. It's like, yeah, you got beat up, but you took his
I ain't
like
no bitch either.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know,
He didn't back down. Not many people will have the courage to take on somebody like twice their size like that, you know.
Like Horseface said, what Horseface say? I'd truck his ass if it was me.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you're a fucking
no
old fat man who
no, you wouldn't, Horseface. Okay.
Right, who reads nudie magazines. You're not doing shit. Fucking horse face.
Yeah, this scene is very telling on a few different levels. So it means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows that Nikki is still taking care of Ziggy. That's one. That's the one thing of it. Okay. The next level of this is, which is like what I was talking about earlier, is some of those triggers. So before I get deep into this, 1 hour in, we want to say please like, share, subscribe, comment, Wiretapped Truths. We appreciate all the love. We are right at 140,000 views as a channel. So we are so grateful. We appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. So where I was going with this was the triggers. So when he's like, the dude, the plug calls Nikki, and he's like, he talked to me like, yeah, I'll talk to you later. You know, I want to discuss more. And Ziggy's like, is that the man? I want to meet him. And he's like, you know, just take the money, Zig. Let me take care of the business. He was like, you don't think I can play the game for myself? Like, that was a trigger in itself. Nikki saying, nah, just let me handle it. I got it. Ziggy's like, wait, you don't think I can do dirt? You don't think I can put together a scheme to get us some quick money, some real money? Mm-hmm. That was a trigger in itself. And when Ziggy threw the money out, that was an issue for me because Nikki did nothing but look after Ziggy.
Right.
Like, he could have took it. He could have took the money and threw it away. Took the money and gave it away. Like, to be disrespectful to Nick, and Nick has done nothing but come and fight your battles. Like, that was my issue with Ziggy. Like, in that scene right there, you know. But at the same time, like we said, it's just he wants to belong to something, to somebody. Right. You know, the duck. And I get, we're gonna talk about it later in the episode with the whole duck, you know. Or is it even this episode? Or is it the next episode? Whatever episode it is, when he gets into it about the duck. The duck was his sense of connection, companionship, because the duck can't fly away. You know, like, it's like, he's not going anywhere. This is my companion here. Everybody, when they brought it into the bar, everybody was so happy. You know, Ziggy found a sense of something with the duck, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Him turning on Nikki, that I didn't like that, but also I get it too, you know, because he was a trigger. He was compulsive.
And you see the anger in Nick's face when he throws the money too.
And you know what, Jack? It is. I've always thought too, like, because he's looking out into the window. I'm like, is it anger necessarily, or is it? I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I can't. It looks like a little bit of anger, a little bit of disappointment, a little bit of shock, almost, because he's kind of looking out his window, and I'm like, he doesn't look like fiercely angry, but he's definitely like, I can't believe he threw the money out the window.
Well, yeah, it's like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I mean, not like, that it affects his bottom line, like, but it's like at the same time, he's like, he wants to help his cousin. That's the thing, and it's like, he's like, I'm trying to do this, and it's like, yeah, you're like, you know, even though he insulted him in the previous episode, he is doing it to look out for him. He doesn't want Nikki getting involved with like scumbags like Cheese,
for sure.
And like he's doing this to protect him, so he doesn't.
He's trying to protect his cousin. He definitely is, you know. And I mean, I think again, it's just ego. You know, it's just that triggering moment. Like, look, you don't need to handle this. Let me do it. I'm taking care of this for us. You know, don't worry about it. I got it. You don't know what you're doing, kind of thing. It's how Ziggy took it. Like,
yeah, and like you said, Ziggy wants to feel like he's good at something, and he's annoyed that his cousin's doing a better job than he's doing. He's a really complicated character, Ziggy. And is like also like deeply relatable. We've all felt like that way at some point, you know.
For sure.
Now, and it mixes that like heartfelt, like very hard to watch scene with this hilarious scene too. That's one great thing about this episode. It has like these really like deeply emotional moments, and then these hilarious scenes that follow it. Because when Daniels goes to Rawls, Rawls has like 5 legendary lines in a row. Here, like,
he went crazy in this scene.
He's like, what Daniels is like, I could use him, and then Ross is like, yeah, and I could use 3 extra inches of meat.
That's crazy. That's a crazy. And you know what? Some of the scenes from Raws, like, and I don't know if it's every episode. I'm not sure. It might be every other episode, maybe every 2 episodes. He's gonna say something that is completely out of pocket.
Yeah,
and that completely alludes to his secret life. You know, why would you say that to another man? Like you just wouldn't, kind of thing. Like that's a crazy statement to say. Like Daniels.
Well, what's the Daniels is like? Do you ever see what a dog's like when it can't catch a bone that it wants? And he's like, yeah, I saw one when it took a shit on my carpet. And then he's like, don't give me that, like, oh, it's one you want. He does that, like, jerking off moment.
Phenomenal dialogue from Ross. Like, you know what? Honestly, I know we're probably going to do Bodie first for our character analysis little series. Ross might need to be second. Like, we don't talk about Ross a lot, but I might be interested in breaking down Ross as a character in full. That might be completely interesting because he's a hell of a character. Like,
oh, he's hilarious, and it's also like, he's constant. He's one. I know you said like Bunk's the funniest characters, but Rawls is up there. Like every line he says is hilarious.
It's delivered with facial expression. It's delivered with comedic timing. Like. He's definitely got some lines on there.
Oh yeah,
like, and some facial expressions too that are like, he's spot on, man. That scene
breaking balls
that I mentioned about Coven and unveiling Amsterdam, and Ross is like, motherfucker, you legalized drugs. Like, I love that scene from Ross. Like, he's phenomenal. We don't speak about him a lot, and he's against McNulty, so fans might not like him a lot. Man, he's a legend in The Wire.
Yeah, and it's like he even says like, when I said like my terms, no bullshit, no anything. He's like, I thought you meant like a kiss or feel my tits or something. He's so funny here. Such a ball blush. I don't know how Lance Reddick did this without just like cracking up the entire time. I wouldn't be able to control myself here.
Yeah.
But also, you see. Sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like in the next scene, but
okay, let me touch on this. So this is the only thing with McNulty. Like I said, I mentioned this a few times. I don't have any problems with nothing that McNulty done. Nothing. Like, not even the serial killer stuff, none of that. I don't care about none of the stuff. Maybe cheating on Beatty, doing your wife dirty. But he wasn't, I guess they weren't married. But doing his girl dirty and she looked out for him, I don't really like that. But him stabbing Daniels in the back and Daniels took him off the boat, that is like the only real issue I have with McNulty. Because Rawls was like, fuck no. I am not letting him. You see the murders he just put on this unit? Like, do you know that we're in this situation because of him? Okay, like he's the reason we even have these 14 open murders. I don't want you working on this case, kind of thing. Like, so for Daniels to go to bat like that for McNulty and McNulty to stab him in the back, like I get it for the sense of the story, but it's like, damn, McNulty, you could have. I don't know. It had to happen for the story, but
if it wasn't for Daniels, McNulty would still be on the boat.
Still be on the boat, for sure. Burrell wasn't going to reach down and go get him. Shit.
Right. Yeah, no, that I agree. That was fucked up on his part. Daniels really goes to bat for him.
He does. And that's also, too, one of the hypocritical moments that I have about Kima, too. Like, in terms of her sense of just trying to do the right thing, be the right cop. It's like, okay, well, in season 5, I guess because of the magnitude of what McNulty did with the serial killer, somebody needed to know. I get it for the sense of the story. Okay. You felt morally compromised and you had to go tell Daniels. I get it. But in season 3, you also manipulated McNulty, not manipulated, but you kind of put the battery in his back to stab Daniels in the back, in season 3. She was like, nobody will go talk to Coven, not you. You wouldn't do that, would you? Kind of thing. McNulty was like, oh no, not me, kind of thing.
Right.
So it's like that little scene right there in terms of her sense of just being morally compromised, you did put that battery in the back to stab Daniels in the back, through McNulty kind of thing. So
No, yeah, I get that.
But she was she was like 99.8% good cop,
right.
like,
Yeah, I think McNulty's tendencies definitely rubbed off on her in the later,
for sure.
And like we also have this like side story with Bodhi and Poot like
I'm
taking
gonna
back
touch on that
this
too.
corner from like this rival territory, and they're like scouting it out, and they're like, this is where they have all the good products, so we gotta fucking take this territory back,
Yep. So that scene, and I don't know if we ever managed to get, whoever shot this scene, if we ever managed, I guess, ask David Simon, or I'd like to know, and it's probably not this deep, but this is the first time I ever caught this. So Pooh is standing directly behind Bodhi. So it's like, okay, it's symbolic to me of he always had Bodhi's back, and he was Bodhi's right hand man. And in that scene, he's on his right hand, like, kind of like it was like right hand man, and he had his back. I don't know, that little shot right there is just like, it just showed, and it probably wasn't even that deep, but it's like, I just thought like, that is his right hand man, and he did always have his back. It just so happens in the scene he is behind his back and he's by his right hand. I don't know.
Okay,
it's probably a reach, but
yeah, no, that's a good catch. It's intentional framing. I like that.
Yeah,
that's definitely good. I like that. Yeah, and they're trying to get that back. And what's it called? Herc and Carver got the
150.
The warrant to sign off to use their informant. And Dan's like Fuzzy Dunlop, like in a way he's just like, all right, I don't give a shit,
And it seems like they went through a lot because they had to give the cousin 10%. So it looks like they went through a lot to get 67.50.
Right.
That's what the split. They create a fake informant. Like, I mean, they had to go through a lot to get
just to pay back.
The little like 1,200.
They fucked up.
Yeah,
that's funny. Like, that's what's interesting is like everyone else is like focused on the case, and they're just like trying to cover their own mistakes. that's their own mission throughout the show, is they're fucking up, and then they're trying to backtrack on that.
I'm always like, Daniels, you have dirt on yourself, on you yourself, man. Why you always like not letting a fake CI go through?
True enough, though.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I also think he's just like, whatever. It's just like, just get out of my face at this point. He's like, I got real shit to worry about. These two idiots are like, yeah, but no, that's definitely a good point. Why would you get yourself involved in more dirt when you have all this like dirt that you're a part of, right?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's like not letting a fake CI go through. It's like, bro, you took hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, he don't know he's fake, I guess.
Well, he kind of says, like, doesn't he kind of hint that he, like, you guys better get me, like, that's why they need Herc's cousin to come through.
Right.
Because he's like,
I think also it's like his ass. He doesn't want to, like,
because doesn't he demand a picture of Fuzzy Dunlop?
No, that's Detective Marimo. In season 4.
Oh yeah.
He's trying to catch Herc up. And he's trying to get him caught up. And he's like, I need to see him. Who is Fuzzy Dunlop?
Oh yeah.
They just submitted that picture to Daniels as the information so that they can get that 150. They had to chalk it up to something so that they can get the money, so they can pay down the 1,200 on the camera or the microphone that they fucked up and got damaged.
Yeah, my bad. You're right.
It's interesting. You also see, like, what's it called? Daniels comes through and he makes the call, and McNulty's off the boat. Couldn't be happier, right? He's like walking up the pier. He's smiling. Diggs is like, oh, come on, beautiful women. The weather's getting warmer, and he walks away, and then. Like, you get the sense this guy's like, I wish I could walk away from the fucking boat. Back to being by himself here. And also, you see Bodhi as like a real boss in this episode too.
For sure. Is he 17? I think 17. He's supposed to be 17. This is the most aggressive 17-year-old I ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
He
said, y'all
fires.
better stop before I lose my composure in this bitch. Like, you know, he said, I ain't got nothing for you, man. No separation pay. He said, man, I don't have nothing for you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and he threatens him. And those two guys, I don't know if you guys probably caught this also. Those two guys that he fires end up working for the rival gang later on.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that until I watched that again. I was like, oh wow.
Nah, for sure. That's why when later in the episode, he's like, who you gonna get to do the shit? Them?
And you know what's funny? Jack, I didn't catch that for a while, and then I realized that it's like, why is he saying them? It to me, it could work either way, right? Like, who's gonna mess this up? Them?
You can just be pointing at them, like you know, who you got?
Like,
not even acknowledging that they work together, right?
But the extra significance of them knowing them,
who they are,
you know. Yeah. But yeah, Bodie, it was them asking for severance pay was pretty funny too.
That was quick. Separation. What the fuck are you talking about? Like it's a business. And he even says that, like he's like separation pay. What the fuck?
If I separate my foot from your ass.
But they also they're looking into like how do we bust this prostitution ring, right? And so they have an address of the hotel that they're using to house the prostitutes, and they have the what do they call that? There's like a term for it where the woman in charge of them.
The madam?
The madam, right. I think, yeah, of course. And they have that, and they realize like we need somebody to go undercover, and Herc's like, yeah, I'll do it. Like just immediately goes in, and
he says, "Oh, I just put on the episode on my phone, so I didn't want to miss this. Subtle." He said, "I think we need a more subtle approach, right?"
Right.
In season 5, when Herc is no longer a cop, he goes into the bar. And then he's showcasing his suit, and he's like he's telling them the designer, and he's like, you know, it puts the B in subtle. And then Colicchio is like, it's a B in subtle, like kind of thing, you know? So it's just a flash forward to the same word, the subtle. He said subtle.
That's fine. It's also like nothing he does is subtle. Like when he has that big coat on in the lollipop.
Yeah, not at all.
That's
you know what is also funny about that? There's a running theme on the show that cops can't spell.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah.
You know.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it's true.
I love that little scene when they're around the table and they're discussing who's gonna do it, you know. And
I like the scene when McNulty finds out that Bodie got killed on the midnight shift, and he's like, in the background you hear, how do you spell paraffin? No, before Carver's talking to somebody, he's like, that's not how you spell paraffin. He's like, how do you spell it? I don't know, but not like that. And I can just imagine it's like PARFAING or something.
But yeah, what did Bunk say when he asked? He said, "Yeah, domestic issues." And Bunk was like, "Same for me. You know, I can't go into no whorehouse. You know,
Bunk's already caught because he's been cheating on his wife. He's already, you know, in the doghouse for that. And then McNulty comes in, and that's one of his one of the times he utters, "What the fuck did I do?" I forget how many times we're up to now when he said that. But yeah, that's a great little moment. They all look at him and yeah, it takes a whore to catch a whore.
Love that.
Greg says.
But did McNulty really have to ask for 2?
Of course I did.
What's the you know, whether you have could you actually question, I don't know. Could you question this if you were like looking to like come down on McNulty? Like, why did you need 2?
Like, McNulty, you know. I mean, you know, why not? You know, I guess it would be his answer.
Hey, if I'm going in there, you know, I'm gonna do it on my terms.
I was just thinking more of like if Eternal Affairs was like,
they would be like, what the fuck?
You weren't looking to you know, get anything out of this. Why did you ask for 2? Like,
right, exactly. Why did you need that? That's a good point. And now we are introduced to the duck in another moment where Ziggy comes in and pretends to be blind.
And shout out to Ziggy's Duck, Kurt on Twitter. We appreciate all the, you know, all the reposts, all the love, all the support you giving the channel, man. We thank you so much, boss.
He's like, am I the only one here who's tried to win the affections of a farm animal?
At Ziggy's _duck. Yeah, that's
Yep.
correct.
Mm.
Yeah,
Great
that was a
performance.
funny joke.
Yeah, he cracks everyone up, and that's the heart of Ziggy's character, right? Is that he, even though like he was humiliated earlier, he takes it as like, look, I stood up to this bully, and yeah, I
Yep.
got beat up, but like I didn't back down,
Nope.
and I'm not gonna like all
I'm
of
not
a
gonna duck
sudden,
and hide.
right? I'm not gonna be like, oh, look at woe is me. He's like, he comes in there and he holds court. He
Yep.
makes everyone laugh. Everyone's has a good time when they're around him. They're all joking around. He cracks up the whole bar. He's like an entertaining guy.
And I
And,
came in with the duck, and I brought everybody around too.
right.
I bought the whole bar around. With the duck.
And it shows he's like, that's the thing, is he's constantly looking for his purpose, and he feels like if my purpose might be, maybe I'm the guy to make everyone laugh. Maybe I'm the entertaining, funny guy. You know. Um, and they start giving the duck alcohol.
Is that not crazy in itself though? Like,
Why would you think it's okay to give an animal fucking
what?
liquor? Right, like
We're talking about binge drinking. Like, I'm talking about we could constantly feeding this duck alcohol for hours
yeah,
and hours and hours and hours until he dies. Like.
that was
I'm
sad.
not sure I would have known any better if I was like younger and going into the bar. I think I might have
Right.
laughed at that.
Oh yeah,
before.
no, if everyone finds it fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
finds it funny, but I
yeah.
mean, 1 + 1 does not equal 8.
Yeah.
It equals 2. Like,
It's
like
funny.
you know.
It's funny that you just said that, is because one of the great lines is like Frank says later. He's like, "Doesn't 2 + 2?" No, Nick says to Frank like 2 + 2 does not equal 6.
Oh shit, yeah, he does say
Yeah.
that.
Uh, yeah, no, they're all having a good time. But meanwhile, they're all watching. Again, it's this cat and mouse game. First off, you have Kima and McNulty watching the hotel, and they say, "Okay, this is where the uh, the um the guys go in to meet the ladies. This is where they like talk to the madam." And so they're scouting out a guy to basically find the information
Mm-hmm.
on them. And meanwhile, like, what's her name? Beatty and Presbalewski and Freeman are all have their eyes and ears on the Patapsco line, and they realize like there's going to be a new shipment coming tomorrow, and this is going to be like contraband, so we need to watch out for what they're doing.
And McNulty too saying when Kim was like, "What's he waiting for?" And he's like getting himself all stilled up to tell some tales. He was like, "Lying to your wife is easy. It's looking at your kids in the eye that's the hard part." I'm like, "Damn, that was sheesh."
That was
That's
a
deep.
harsh line, and it's because he's like, I've been there,
Yeah, right.
to it. Um,
And the guy didn't want any problems either. Like,
yeah.
soon as
Well,
he's
he's just a guy.
Fuck.
He's embarrassed, he's like, fuck, the last thing he wants to do, like, he's probably like besides from this, he's probably like a stand-up guy, this could
Probably.
ruin his whole fucking life. So he's like immediately, like, he even puts his hand over his face like, oh shit, this is the end. But they're obviously not looking for him. He's just some
Nope.
guy there. And that's what makes McNulty such a good detective, and same with Greg's, is they always keep their eyes on the prize.
Like, you want to go home?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I do.
It's funny he takes his name Robert Johnson.
And yeah, McNulty said, "You believe that?" Like, he's like joking on his name. Like, that shit was funny.
All right, Bob, where does a man meet a nice young lady? And they, so that's how they find their way into it. Meanwhile, they have a line on the Patapsco bridge shipment, and they have Greg's working as like this electrician in there, keeping an eye on there.
Yep, and that's what I was talking about earlier, just about McNulty and passion. So him asking what Kima is rolling as is him like, hey, y'all have her back out here undercover and shit. Like, do y'all have her protected or what? Kind of thing. I thought that was telling to his character about about Kima and just looking out for people. That was, I think, that little line right there was. So wait, hold on. Y'all have her undercover? Like, is somebody protecting her, or what is she going as? Like, it was genuine concern kind of thing. So,
that's what I was saying earlier. It's like it shows they actually care about each other.
Yeah.
In this episode, and Whereas like the dock workers are kind of just throwing each other under the bus later
Yeah.
on. And what's his face?
Frank.
Frank is all getting all suspicious, right? He's constantly paranoid, and
Yep.
he has a reason for that, you know.
He asked those cops, when is Beatty coming back from Fairfield? Like,
Because she told him, she's like, no, the case went under, and they're like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna get your girl back soon. Like she's got detailed, and he's like,
and
what?
why? And then maybe it's just for the sake of the plot. Why wouldn't they be like, oh no, yeah, she's at Fairfield? Why wouldn't that be known that they shouldn't say, oh, she's working on a city case, right? Like,
Well, they probably don't know that what she's doing. They probably
maybe not. Yeah,
maybe they
maybe
just
not.
don't know. They're just two
Maybe
cops that
not.
are like, that's what I took it as. They're just like they just know that, because I'm sure like if they knew that he was being spied on, they wouldn't tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they took her out of the docks, the dock police, and they said, she's working on a city case. That's all they were given, so they
Right.
were just
Yeah.
like, they're not thinking that they're working
About
on
Frank or
Frank,
anything, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get it. I know.
So they're like,
I know. I'm just saying, like, for the
why
sake of.
weren't they told that she's working specifically on
Come
Frank?
on now. If
And
y'all
I
know
guess
that the rest of your staff will be patrolling the docks, or there's a chance that they could get, I guess they don't know that they could get called to the docks. I don't know.
But all this stuff for me is realistic overlooks. Like
Right.
on the police, like police department. I'm sure overlook a lot of things that if you see like real cases and you're like, yo,
This is Baltimore too.
Why
it ain't like, it ain't like it's that big a deal to them anyway what she's working on, or for them to even know what she's working on. Maybe that's protocol for them not to know exactly what I don't know. I'm just asking.
They probably just don't care either. They're just like, whatever.
that could be it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but
these are questions we should have asked Dre Severino when we had him on. And I was like,
we hadn't reviewed this episode yet either.
No, but you know what's funny? I think we've asked questions like this before, and we just like went blank.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still a great interview, but I'm just saying, like, we there's stuff like this that we could have asked them.
Well, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right?
Yeah.
But I like the relationship too that he has with these cops. It's very like, I don't know. There's
friendly,
just like
playful, kinda understanding, kind of
like we're not enemies. We're just doing our jobs. Like
exactly. They say your people wouldn't even steal no diapers with
diaper.
Yeah, kind of thing.
And he's like, oh, you never know. It feels very real. Like it's just how people interact with each other. They're not like, hey, fuck off. They're just like people doing their jobs. But here it's great because you constantly see them like surveilling them, right? That's the overall theme of the show is surveillance and everything. And they have an eye on Sergey driving off, right? But like Kima can only go so far without it being obvious. So McNulty, McNulty comes through. He's back in action. He's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna drive over there and call what's the name of the type of cop that they have there? Like the
PSA?
Fuck, Jesse, do you know? Maybe no. What is it called?
PSA.
PSA.
She said I can call PSA and delay it.
Okay.
It might not.
Sorry,
be PSA.
I guess I thought it was, maybe I heard something
Hold
else.
on, let me see. Because I got the episode playing right here.
Port Police.
MPA.
Yes, there we go. She calls him and was like, you need to pull this guy over for some bullshit. He's like, you're driving 24 and a 20.
Yeah. Also, too, Frank talks to Horseface about checking the container in clean.
Oh.
Yeah. He does.
Make sure there's no one living in there.
Right. Yeah. That's the other part of this. So Frank is kind of aware now that he knows Beatty is working with the cops. His phone is flagged. He's like, oh no, something is off. Something is off.
Putting things like, he's smart. Usually it's like characters are paranoid, they're off, but his paranoia is completely justified here.
Yep. And also too, when Prez Maluski is like, hey, they're running them out in tandem, and Lester is like, hey, that means in pairs, Jimmy. So I know what it means.
I think that note too.
Okay. And then also too, when Beatty says that she's gonna delay it, and she's gonna call MPA, And then McNulty is like, good job. She looks at him with like flirty eyes. Like that's like insinuation, foreshadowing to, okay, well, you're kind of checking McNulty out. Okay. Got it. Note taking. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, two lines are early that made me laugh earlier is when some Poots said like the I know this is like out of left field. I'm just looking at my notes now. When he said that the drug trade right now, he said as slow as a white man in slippers.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fun. And then somebody, what was the fucking character? They said like, where does he get that uniform at? Kmart.
Yeah, that was Poot.
Oh, that was Poot too. Okay, yeah, he's got.
No, he said that to Puddin'. Puddin' was like slow as a white man in slippers. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so McNulty comes and he views Sergey, but Frank comes up with the idea, hey, have a clean truck go through there.
Yep.
So that way, because he's like, look, if I'm wrong, we'll ship it out tomorrow, but if I'm right, they're going to thank me because now he knows that they're viewing them, right?
Yep.
And we got George Glikas here, and you're right, George. The actor is such a nice guy.
Shout out to Teddy Kanaz, man.
Teddy Kanaz, such a sweet guy, and he plays such a fucking raging asshole here. He's hassling his employee, and when Sergey opens,
and Frank calls not Sergey, Vondas. He calls Vondas and says, hey, I sent out a clean cam, and he's like, not on the phone, Frank.
Not on the phone, Frank.
So he's like, well, next time the Greek wants to be there to hear this shit. Okay.
He's gonna fucking be there. Yeah, and he opens it, and it's Barbie dolls, and he says Bobby dolls. It's Barbies, but he said Bobby dolls, which I thought was funny. And plastic curtain rods, and he's all pissed off because Glikas doesn't know this. He calls Vondas, is like, what the fuck, man? And Vondas says, like, it's all good. This was the plan all along. He's like, what am I supposed to do? He's dump it somewhere.
Dump it in the street.
So now they got all this phone calls back and forth. They have it all on the tape, and they put two and two together, and they realize Vondas is the boss. He's the one arranging the back and forth. Now they have like enough for basically they have all this evidence of smuggling and drug dealing back and forth.
They got the boss. They got the boss on the line now.
They realize Spiros is the boss. Now, one thing too that, like you said, like one thing. I feel like bad for McNulty because they made him wait. Why didn't they call McNulty and just tell him like, "Oh, you don't have to watch this anymore"? Because he later on he asks like,
"What's up with the care?"
Yeah.
James like it's clean.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. It's like they should have just called him earlier and told him like, "Hey, you don't need to be there any longer." But McNulty's also passionate about his case too, so he's like, he's in it to That's his thing, right? And then, meanwhile, Bodhi's like putting together a posse to beat the shit out of these other guys, or threaten them. And he says, "Come together with baseball bats."
7 in the morning.
7 in the morning, and Poots. I like when they're like, "Whoa, you didn't say we're gonna have baseball bats,"
Yeah, he said, "Shit, I can be early for that."
Right. Poot, meanwhile, is just like hung up on all the women giving him attention. He's like,
thank you for that, Zach. So this is something I think The Wire does phenomenally well, is playing on to the characters. I don't want to call it vices, but almost like what the character is known for. Like it's just this scene. It just shows we talking about business. We're trying to get ready in the morning to go to his cruise territory with bats, with guns, all of that. And Poot is in another world. I ain't worried about shit you talking about, Bodhi. I got these 2 girls over here that's got my concern. It just does Poot's main thing was women, so it just does a good job at highlighting what the character is into. And I think in season 4, they do that a few times with Donut, the kid that steals cars. Like it's a few scenes like when they're about to set up Walker, and then they're trying to figure out how to set up the cop, and then Donut is like, "Oh well, I've seen this car there a few times." It just does. The Wire just does that really well, like just touching on the character's what they're known for, kind of thing. So I thought that was a good little scene with Poot because he ain't thinking about nothing that Bodhi is talking about. Like, man, I got these two girls right here. They looking at me. I'm feeling good. I ain't worried about going to fight in the morning.
Oh yeah, no, that is a great. It shows their contrast, right?
Yep. Because
Bodhi's like
Bodhi is all
ambitious.
about hustling. I'm all about the game. So it's them contrasting each other in one scene and showing what's important to both of them in one scene. Like,
It also shows why Bodhi, since the first episode, he's the more ambitious one. He's the one who actually wants to be in charge of things.
I'm the most ambitious 17-year-old you ever see. Like,
yeah, and Poot, meanwhile, is just kind of that's one of the ways. That's why Poot makes it out, because he's
man.
not all about
All I'm here to do is get my little money, and sleep with Amy Winehouse lookalikes. That's all. That's all I'm here for, baby.
Now that I'm thinking about it, the reason McNulty's out there later on is because they just want to make sure that nothing else illegal happens. So once he's now that actually makes more sense to me. And once they sees that, okay, they're just dumping clean shit, that he doesn't need to be there anymore. So I answered my own question there. But also Frank and Nick are just getting more paranoid, and they're just like, what's going on? Why are they being flagged? Why is BD Russell lying to me? And after a long day of work, McNulty's like, let's go for a taste. And then it's funny, she's like, I'll take a beer, just only one. And Jimmy's like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I get sleepy after one. And he's
Lester
like, oh yeah,
what?
And then the look on Lester's face is like, hey man, you better not sleep with her.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, y'all going out drinking? I don't think
I didn't take it as that. I took it as, what the fuck do you mean only one?
That's what I took it as too. I took it as like, all right, okay.
But Jimmy. I think the initial look was, when he said that, was him doing it while he was there. I don't know. I looked at it as, y'all about to go drinking. McNulty might sleep with this woman. That's what I took it as. I mean, he's a
but I don't think Lester would disapprove of that. I mean, Lester hooked up with a CI.
Right, yeah, I don't think it's disapproval. I think it was, maybe you're right. Maybe just acknowledging, like, yeah, he's probably going to sleep with her. Maybe I shouldn't say you better not sleep with her, but maybe
Lester was also excited too.
Yeah.
Well, Lester, I think, was also like excited because she is like, oh my god, the guy. She gets all like a giddy schoolgirl, like, oh my god, the guy who I'm crushing on is gonna ask me, for a drink, just the two of us. Because the other time, it's like Bunk is there too, but it's like now it's just the two of them. It's more, it's more intimate. And I love the scenes with them here, because it really, the scene there is a lot of like emotion here, and you do see they do have like something of a natural relationship and connection, and they both feel like lost, and they both are just like naturally gravitate towards each other. That's the thing with couples that are together, right? There's a natural energy that brings them to each other.
Yeah.
And I really feel like they have that there. And he asks like about Beatty's husband, and we learn that his husband was an asshole who ran out because he wanted just some lady to cook and clean for her, and she says now he's cooking and cleaning for himself. And then she asks about her husband. Well, at first he's like, "What, did she die?" And she's like, "What? Because I'm a young, beautiful woman." Like,
yeah.
And then she's like, "What about your wife?" And he's like, "Well, she died." And that one made me crack up, because just on a personal level, that is like something I would say on a date too. Like that's literally like, that's my sense of humor, just like really dark and dry, So it feels like a real conversation between these guys, And
when McNulty goes to the phone, he's on the phone with the madam. And she's like, well, what kind of girl are you looking for? It flashes to McNulty looking at Beatty.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, it's symbolic to the type of girl that he's actually looking for, who he actually wants to be with, is Beatty. It don't happen until a season and a half later, but that little foreshadowing moment when she asks that, and then it flashes to her, and he's looking at her, and he's admiring her. It's like, well, that's actually the kind of girl that I want. It's actually Beatty.
Right. And that's not just in like a prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And not just like in a primal sexual way, and like a real emotional, intimate, like, this is the woman I want to marry and be with. Yeah. And again, the lighting and the music is great too, because it's almost like it has like she's like illuminated by the lights of the bar. Like you just
Yep.
notice her. She's like playing with her hair. She looks beautiful, and she looks like somebody that he genuinely feels attracted to. It feels like you said very intimate there, and again him on the payphone mirrors the first scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of him being like a drunken wreck, he has more of like a direction now. Now I'm back being a cop. Now I can actually figure things out that I want. So
Yep.
it's like this whole episode, he has his own arc. It's kind
Yep.
of in one
Even the
episode.
bartender, he tells him, he's like, Jimmy, you want another one? He's like, no, I'm good, Gus. He was like, all
Yeah.
right, whatever you say.
Mm. He knows that's like, what's it called? He knows his drink, but yeah, this one episode, he completely turns a corner, and that's kind
Yep.
of brilliant. Most shows that they need like a whole season to do that, but this is only in 50 minutes. You see his character kind of evolve here, and later on when he gets to her house, right? They're going in for a nightcap at her apartment or house, whatever, and I love the design of the house. Shout out Vince Peranio because
Mm-hmm.
it just feels like this real lived-in house. She's got young children.
Got the
It's
cookie
that.
jar.
Yeah, I love that. Like, stay away from the cookie jar. And he's going, and she's talking to her kids, and while she's away talking to her kids, he's kind of like looking throughout the house, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
I could see myself living here. I
Yep.
could see it's like this feels like home to me. Like it feels like a real place that I could see myself being in. And even though they're there for a nightcap, uh, when she comes back, he's like, I don't want to just have a nightcap. I want to actually
Yep.
make this like a
That's
real
and
thing.
that's telling in itself, considering, like you just said, damn, I've never thought about this. Considering at the top of the episode, I'm half drunk, half sleep, hand cut up, bloody. I just smashed a random waitress at this
Right.
diner, kind of thing, and didn't think twice about it. Okay. But
Hmm.
now, at the end of the episode, I am like, hey, she's invited me to stay, and I probably can. It's late, the kids are asleep. I probably have a shot here to get laid, and he's like, maybe another time.
It's not worth it then.
It's a complete circle of the character, like in one episode.
Well,
That's
it's just that I don't. I mean, it's still the same character. I don't know if it's um. I mean, it's just a girl that you work with that.
he tried to sleep with
I
Kima.
yeah. But I think he knows that Beatty's crushing on him, and Beatty wants something more.
How would he know that though?
Well, she seems like somebody who's like wants. She doesn't strike me as somebody who wants a one night stand. She strikes me
But
as like somebody looking for a family. Like when he looks at the picture of the kids, like she
right,
wants to
okay,
replay.
yeah.
Like she wants to step. Like I think the picture of the kids got like looking
Maybe
at it is
got
like
to him.
kind of like damn. She wants
It's
to
a
step
mom.
back.
This a mom with kids. Like this is a family situation kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was kind of
Maybe.
like he did offer Kima the fingers though, and
Yeah. He
season
was
3.
smashing
Yeah.
the hotel room.
Yeah, I'm
But
with
I think
Leland
you're right.
here. I think McNulty wants something more here. I don't think it's just about like, oh, he wants to be nice to her and she's a coworker. I think that he's genuinely has like feelings for her that are beyond just like sexual in nature,
But
and
Well,
then
she
why did
feels the same
the
way.
but
only
then why didn't
thing
he
though,
pursue
they
it?
haven't been around each other long enough to actually create real feelings yet. Like that's the only. They've only worked together a little bit. They went out for a little drink at a bar. They haven't really been around each other.
Well, how much time
Not
do you
only
need?
that, why didn't he pursue it?
What do you mean? Why didn't he sleep with her? Because
No, if he wants something more throughout season 2, there's plenty of times for them to make to make them get in a relationship.
not really.
Sure, there is.
What times do they have to get a
Yeah, they're
relationship?
not really
He's on the
together.
boat most of the time until this episode. He's pretty much on the
No, I'm
boat for most
saying
of
the continuation from now to the continuation of the season
But they're
finale.
not alone any for the rest
Yeah,
of the season.
this is their first time when they're like have a moment alone to talk.
I'm saying afterwards. You're saying he wants a relationship with her.
Right.
Why don't they hang out again after this?
Well, it's been a while since I saw the last season, so I gotta catch up on that. But well, I think the reason is like they have their own directions that they go, right? I mean, sometimes life just pulls you in different directions, and also, again, it's been a while too, so I have to. But I think you're not giving Jimmy enough credit here. I think that there is. You don't necessarily need a lot of
No,
like.
you give Jimmy too much credit, and it's time that you wake up and see McNulty with reality eyes.
I no,
And I'm
I
here to
think
show you the
you're
reality of Jimmy McNulty.
I think you're a McNulty hater here. I think that no, I think
I'm a McNulty realist.
I am too, but I feel like he doesn't you don't need that much time to establish a connection. I mean, like how much time do you really need? You know, it's fucking there especially as you get older. I mean, you know, when you're in your 30s, it's like you know, shit or get off the pot, right? When you're
I mean,
younger, it's like you need all this like, well, I need months of feel, you know. But
all right.
like
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say when you get older, as you know, because I'm kind of the same age as Jimmy, it's like you know, you meet someone, you don't need that much time to realize, like, all right, maybe this is a good person. But also, it's like Leland said, they didn't really have enough time to establish a relationship yet. You
So,
know.
all right, I took the scene totally different. Like, look, Beatty's open for relationships. She's crushing on McNulty. Like, she could, like, McNulty could hook up with her anytime he wants. Like,
Mhm.
it's the balls on Beatty's court. After this scene, we don't see them really go out for another drink because I think McNulty gets a little bit of a conscience at her house. Like, okay, I'm not going to sleep with her because I know this is just bullshit. I'm not Jimmy McNulty though, having one drink at the bar. She has kids. I'm not going to do this. This is not fair to her. I'm going to
And
back
you
out.
know what, too? They do acknowledge later in the episode when she's following Spiros, and Bunk is like, "Why don't you just set up a tripod in the easel if you want to look at her like that?" It's something like that. Like he alludes to Jimmy checking her out or like
Mhm.
just watching her. Yeah. So,
Well,
um,
also, I think the case kind of takes over whatever time that they could have. Like, the case kind of accelerates, and they don't really have time to like establish anything because they just get so consumed by it. You
But
know.
when he goes to her at the end of season 3, she's like, "Why now?" It's like she's been waiting for him. She's like, "Why'd you
yeah.
come now?" Like,
And he
I've
didn't.
been
It
here
was
this
no
whole time.
pushback or nothing. He walked right back into a relationship.
You know, he just went there. It's like, "Yo, I want to be with you." She's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you. Why? Like, why now?" It's kind of like, and he's like, "Well, I
Yeah.
guess I just needed time to realize."
I think
So,
this scene though. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
so he could get with her throughout this whole continuation of season 2. The ball's all in Jimmy's court,
Yeah.
in my eyes.
Well, also, I think he might not even be realizing like what he's wants at this point. Like he's just getting over Elena now. You know what I mean? And it's like I think you need time after like not like
Well,
obviously
that I agree with.
they've been separated, but he's now like he's moving past trying to get with her again. And it's like I think you need some time to yourself before you figure out like what I need. I think how we've become like relationship experts. This is a whole like side.
Relationship consultation link. It'll be in the bio
Right, exactly.
later. You know, you want us to coach you on your relationship? Link in the bio. 200 an hour. We got you
Yeah.
covered.
And
We become
meanwhile,
like therapy.
the only married one who's actually seen somebody is Leland.
Right, yeah, exactly. We're just yeah, exactly. We're become like a dating experts here. But I think what's really nice about that scene for me is that they see like, hey, this could blossom into something, and we don't necessarily need to ruin it by just like having like a one night stand or whatever. Maybe let's like take it slowly. We're both coming out of a relationship. Let's progress it nicely, and I like that more than like if he was just like, all right, let's fuck you know. I don't know. It was kind of cute. I thought it was like a nice moment of like Jimmy turning around and they're realizing maybe there is something here to each other. And yeah, no, it does. That was one thing I agree with you though. Later on, when he comes back and she's just like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah.
It does seem like, wait a second, you know, if you waited a year and then came back to someone, you probably want like, but yeah, but we'll get to that when we get to that. The other funny thing is seeing Bodhi and Poot. got there early, and
Yep.
early bird gets the worm here.
You dig?
They get the corner. And I like when this guy's like, "You'll be seeing me in your dreams." Like he's trying to save face, and like
we are not scared, bro. Like
But Poot says like, they're gonna come
late.
back. He's like, they have to.
And again, he always had Bodhi's back, bro.
Right.
Always.
Oh yeah. And it does foreshadow what happens in the following episodes, right?
Yep.
The last scene is like, and this is one thing, Frank is talking crazy to these gangsters. There's no fear in him whatsoever when he's like anything the Sparrow says, like anything you want to say to the Greek and say to me, he's like, bullshit. Come on, Nick. It's like,
and then they reveal
the
Greek, kind of thing. Because Nikki don't know. Nikki didn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank didn't know what he looked like, apparently.
Also too, it's so much rewatches for me that I don't realize like the intensity that's supposed to be made the first time you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's speaking back to the Greek, like we get paid now kind of deal.
Talking crazy.
And a part of me like goes back to that first person watching it where it's like, yo, Frank could get himself killed talking like this.
Get you up out of here yesterday.
Who the fuck do you think you're talking
yesterday, bro? Okay.
So
he is talking crazy. No, he's talking crazy. And if the Greeks had Marlowe's mentality in terms of taking any disrespect, Frank would have been up out of there way early.
The Greek is a pretty fair-headed guy compared to like Marlowe and Avon.
Sure.
He's kind of like. And it's all business with the Greek, right? He's kind of like, okay, give him the money.
It's not about pride. You're right. It's like it's transactional, and they realize like we need Frank at this moment.
No, for sure.
We need like he can talk shit to us because we need these people on the inside.
Yeah, we need these people.
But as we know, the second they don't need him anymore,
out of there.
So.
And it's at the end. He says, you should buy something. Frank. He's basically telling him to enjoy the fruits of his labor.
That's I love that.
And that's how it ends.
What a beautiful thing. It's like this guy, like he's such an interesting character because one of the only times you see him is when he's like slitting the guy, like he's murders that other dude.
Yeah.
But then he's like he has this like grandfatherly wisdom at the same time, and he's right. He's a very, like you guys said, he's a very level-headed guy. And he says that to because like I said earlier, the entire time you see Frank, right? He's always stressed out, and he's like, "Why don't you just like chill out, buy a car or something, just live life,
So that's a great ending too.
That's what life is all about, right? Like just live your life, and not everything has to be like stressful all the time. This is why we get up in the morning. I thought that was like kind of nice,
And that's a great job too, Jack. Thank you so much, bro. Phenomenal breakdown. We appreciate you being our narrator.
You as well, of course.
So before you do our rundown, I want to say, because we just mentioned the Greek, whenever we do this next top 10 fallen soldiers, fallen wire actors, the Greek. I ain't even think about that. The Greek.
Isn't he still alive?
Is he still alive?
I think so.
Is he really?
Yeah, I looked him up recently. I was searching for him on social media and stuff.
Okay. Damn, I'm
sorry
I dated you before you passed. Then I just figured, I was like, man, it's 23 years ago. I figured, okay, damn, that's fucked up to me. My fault, damn. Jesse, you want to go ahead and give our who was your standout actors and do our breakdown? We got like 7 minutes.
Standout actor, the waitress. Lisa Bullock. I found out her name was. I love McNulty this episode. Dominic West. It is a Ziggy episode, but just from the cold open to the yes, there is kind of a sweet side with Beatty. If I was being difficult on that, then my bad.
I thought we both had good points.
Damn, he is still alive. He's 87. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. I looked up all these actors. There is like a sweet side to Jimmy here.
What's his name, by the way, the Greek actor?
William Joseph Raymond.
Nice.
William Joseph Raymond. This is an open invitation for you to come on Wiretapped Truths.
Yep.
So
don't kill us.
Shout out to Dominic West. That's my standout actor. You guys want to say yours real quick?
I would also say James Ransone, of course. Uh, and no, I would say that the Greek. That again, like the more I think about it, it is such a beautiful message, and it's coming from the last person you would expect it from. You know what I mean? Is he's like a hardcore criminal, but he has this like optimism and appreciation of life. And at the end, it's like when Frank leaves, he's like kind of dumbfounded because like I didn't expect that at all. Actually, like I thought you're gonna bust my balls, but you're actually showing sympathy. It was kind of like, oh shit, okay, you're right. Yeah. What do you think, Leland?
I'm probably going Dominic West and probably James Ransone. Those are probably my two.
Uh,
And
since
so
it-
we got 5 minutes, Jesse.
yeah, since there's a little time left and you have the list in front of you, I'll let you do the announcements.
So shout out to Miss Donna Adrian Gibson, our executive producer. We love you so much. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for our apparel. Thank you so much. Also, Miss Debbie Young, our other unnamed executive producer. We appreciate all the behind the scenes stuff that you do for us as well. We'd like to shout out Kamal Smith. He has a YouTube channel at DRAHCIR TV. Julito McCullum, you can go to his Twitter and get the Boys of Summer hoodies. Just DM him. He's got an album out called 33 Summers as well. Chris Clanton, he has a book out called The Law to Finessing Me. Give the information about the play, Jesse.
And a play, go to his Instagram, Set It Off Live with Felicia, who plays Snoop.
You've also got Maestro Harrell, Randy. Shout out his podcast on YouTube. Every Wednesday he does a Wire recap called I think it's Wire Wednesdays. Nakia Dillard, he's got an acting school. You can click the link in the bio if you're interested. Any age, 3 months old to 83 years. It doesn't matter. He'll take on anybody that's interested in learning the acting generation.
What if you're an 83-year-old and you want to play a 3-year-old?
You can do that too. He'll teach you how to do that too.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We have the nonprofit S&P Rise by Alonzo Wilson. So please check out his nonprofit organization. It's snprise.org. Miss Amanda Johnson, she has her studio and her boutique in Delray Beach, Florida. You can go to amandajohnsonstudio.com. Please support, I don't want to butcher his last name, Andres Severino. The Silverback Chronicles podcast, phenomenal police consulting podcast. He's interviewed John Bernthal on there. It's a great podcast. It really is. You've also got Trey Shaney with ShaneyWay.com. That's where you can get any of his merchandise. He's got a bunch of products on there, so you can reach him as well. And then Ava Shirazi, Jesse, you want to shout her out? And Mike Yeaton.
Michael Kevin Darnall.
Yeah, Michael Kevin Darnall too. Brooke Eden, I'm sorry.
Michael Kevin Darnall and Brooke Eden. Brooke Eden was on Sinners, and Ava is also Amber Nelson, and she's just doing filmmaking. So support her when you see her.
Shout out Miss Donna's movie too, Jesse. Go ahead and give her that shout out.
Yep, Moses the Black. I'm gonna shoot a review for that right now and get it out to you guys.
Yeah. Jesse went and saw it yesterday. I don't have the funds at the moment. I need some money, but I will watch it as soon as I can. Maybe it'll be streaming on Tubi soon or whatever, but I definitely want to check that out. It's very nice that they made that movie.
Yep. And then again, please like, share, subscribe, comment, Wiretapped Truths. If you want to book us for any voiceover work, any commercial work, or any interested sponsors, if you're interested in advertising on our channel, we have just cracked 140,000 views. We got about 512 videos on the channel. So if you want any advertising or anything like that, reach out to us. We can be reached at wiretappedtruths@gmail.com. We appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. We've got some other phenomenal episodes, Wiretap random episodes coming out to you soon. A few character analysis. We're going to release this review of Miss Donna's movie very soon. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, Wiretapped Truths. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Peace.